Hello and welcome to Take You to School with Dr. Tom Prichard. I am your host, JP John Poz from the two-man power trip, of course. Joining me, the star of the show, the man that's the former WWE World Tag Team Champion, one of the greatest trainers ever in the history of the business, the Doctor of Desire himself, Dr. Tom Prichard. Dr. Tom, how you doing today, sir?
I'm doing great. How about you?
Doing good. I'm doing good. Getting interested and looking forward to John Cena's last hurrah here, his last match. The last time is now. Are you into this? Are you feeling this?
Yeah, I'm interested in it, but I'll be in Tampa with the NWA this Saturday, so I won't be able to
Whoa.
see it. Yeah,
Wow, I didn't realize that. What's the show this coming Saturday?
it's TV tapings in Tampa.
Oh, okay. So it's not like
No, it'll be at the studios that they usually tape at. WU something. I don't know the studio's name, but yeah, we'll be doing that this Saturday.
oh, okay, awesome. So you're still doing agenting and
Yeah,
I see.
agenting and those. Yeah,
Yes, and basically helping out backstage.
yes,
The WEDU PBS studios down
thank you.
there
That's what it is.
in Tampa.
Yeah.
Damn, for some reason I missed that. I didn't realize that they were taping again. How many episodes do they tape like per taping? Is it a bunch of shows or
It's a
they just
bunch. It's like 22 matches. Yeah, it's a lot.
wow, okay. So that
It's
means that'll last them
it's an
like
all day sucker. Yeah.
yeah. So you might miss Saturday night's main event.
Chances are,
I that's like
if it's on Peacock, is it on NBC or just Peacock?
just Peacock actually.
I
Yeah,
don't think we'll have
they got
Peacock
rid of
this
the
time.
NBC thing. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Because what happened was they didn't want to completely lose WWE because if you lose WWE, you lose all the Peacock subscribers that only had Peacock as the WWE, which was a lot. And
Yeah.
even me, I was like, oh, I was going to get rid of it. I was like, oh, but now they got Saturday night's main event, so I'll keep it for now and let's see how it goes. But
Right.
so basically, they're making you keep Peacock if you're a WWE fan, so you don't lose out on Saturday night's main event.
Yeah. That's cool.
And they added a bunch of extra ones this year. So it was supposed to be, I guess, 4 initially, and it ended up being 6 or whatever it ended up being. Or it was, I think it was supposed to be, yeah, right. It was ended up being 6 this year, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. Oh, it ended up being 5. It was supposed to be 4. So they added in the extra one with Cena. So interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. Very cool.
Is a rematch happening at the NWA taping with Silas Mason and the NWA World Title and Tom Latimer?
I won't know until I get there. Not sure.
Wow.
Yeah.
Be intrigued
I'm sure.
to
I'm
see.
sure. I'm sure Tom had that rematch clause in his contract.
Yes, God, you have to. You have to have that in
I'm
there.
sure. Yeah. It's a built-in thing with the NWA champion.
So Peacock will have John Cena's last match. The last time is now this. Basically, the last time is now tournament winner, as we now know. Gunther defeated LA Knight. He's the winner. What did you think about that? Is that the right matchup? Did you want Knight to win, and did you think Gunther was the right choice?
No, I personally felt Gunther was the right choice. LA Knight, it looks like they just destroyed him after the match, and no telling what's going to happen there if that even plays a part in uh, uh, the last match. Because I don't think Cena and Gunther will be the last match. But I think who knows if it's going to play a part in Braun Breaker and CM Punk. But I think Gunther's the right guy to go out with Cena. Going to be, I think, a hell of a match, and it's going to be hard hitting. And I think the people live and the people watching won't be disappointed.
What do you think of that with LA Knight? Did you think they were burying him? I saw some people online like, "Oh, they killed him off. They buried him." Like, oh, what do you think about that?
No, I think that was a way to get heat on him and have him make a resurgence, and like I said, maybe even possibly appear during Punk and Braun Breaker's match. I mean, the mask guy came in again, so obviously he has some connection with the Visionaries. So that I think just adds to it and continues the story.
Why do you think people were so upset? Did they didn't like that Knight lost? They didn't like that he got beat up too much? What like why was everybody so upset? Why were they up in arms over this?
Well, I think if you listen to well, hell, I just dropped my top. If you listen to the internet too much, it's going to bite you. And I know WWE listens to the fans and listens to the internet, and listens to social media at times, but just sit back and watch, and you'd be pleasantly surprised. You can't please everybody all the time, and I think it's a great way to continue a story. The way I looked at it, because he did go to such extremes, the splash on the car, and I think even after the show went off the air, they filmed something and put him in an ambulance, took him away. So I think that's just a continuation with LA Knight. Now he has something to be upset about, and he has something to get revenge for.
It is kind of interesting, like when they do that around the holidays, you kind of wonder, at least I wonder, like maybe he's getting a vacation for the holidays. You know what I mean? It's right around the corner. Maybe he's just taking some time off.
Could be, but I think just the opposite. I think even if he is taking some time off, I think he'll come back strong, and I think he'll be looking for revenge on those guys. So he's involved. He's involved in the angle either way. So
it is interesting how you could literally take something like from the fans' perspective, like, oh, they're bearing night, they're killing them. But then you kind of look at it from the other perspective. He is involved in the number one kind of storyline, if you will, on Raw, which is a big show on Netflix. And he's in the main event all the time. So it's like he's wrestling Gunther, obviously, in the finals of the tournament. So he beat Jey Uso. He beat a couple surprise guys. Like he did get, a decent amount of rub or whatever, decent amount of push the last few weeks. So it's weird the way some people take it, because I've seen other people take it the opposite. Like, no, he's in a great spot because of where he's been used in the card.
Yeah, that's what I think. He's been in a great spot, and he's been featured, and he may not have won all his battles, but once again, he is in a great spot, and it gives him something to come back and do.
To me, though, like we look at that, it's like not everybody could be like Punk, and not everybody could be the world champion, but you need other guys that are over, that are viable, and be able to fill spots. He's perfect. I mean, he's hugely over with the crowd.
Yeah, he looks the part. He can cut a great promo, and why not do something with him? If he is taking time off, great. But if he shows up at Saturday night's main event, even better. I think it'll be great.
Would you turn him heel or no? Like when he came back, like him, like, oh, I'm getting pissed of getting beat up all the time, and to have him turn heel, or would that be crazy?
I wouldn't turn him heel right now.
No.
Interesting.
I was thinking maybe he could come back as the Max Man, but obviously he can't because he came in when the Max Man left. So I was thinking that last week. I was like, maybe he could be the Max Man, but that wouldn't make sense.
Not now.
No. I wonder who the Max Man is. Do you like this Max Man gimmick? Because a lot of people are saying it's too much like the Black Scorpion, which was a failed WCW angle that people didn't like.
Well, I don't think it's anything like the Black Scorpion.
Yeah, where's the magic and the Ole Gunderson voice? Yeah, right.
Yeah, I don't think it's anything like the Black Scorpion. I think it's a way to keep Seth's name at least talked about, and some intrigue, and people wondering if it's this guy or that guy or who might be under the mask, but they're obviously hinting that it's Seth. And no, I think I have no problem with it whatsoever. It does add a little bit of intrigue and gives the guys a way out.
This angle, right? This Max Man, like they're called the Black Scorpion. They don't like having a surprise guy, I guess, maybe these fans. I like it. I kind of think it's like interesting. Like, okay, they're not revealing it right away. Who could it be? They're teasing it Seth Rollins. I don't think it's going to be Seth, but who would it be? And then who does he feud with? Braun Breaker seems like he doesn't particularly care if this guy's helping out or not. So is the Vision involved or not? It's kind of intriguing to me, at least. At least it's something there.
Yeah, I think so too. I think it is something that people can either be happy about or be upset about, and complain that they're doing too much, like the Black Scorpion, and they can bitch all they want, but at least they're talking about it. So I think it's a good thing that they're keeping the intrigue and the mystery out there. So eventually, it's going to have to be revealed.
I think it's more like the mystery man that was attacking Hogan in 1994 when he came into WCW and you didn't know who it was and he attacked his knee. It looked like it was Arn Anderson, and then all of a sudden they later revealed to be Brother Brudai, Brutus the Barber Beefcake, was the guy. And then obviously he becomes the Butcher and he fights Hogan at Starrcade. But that's what it reminds me of more than a Black Scorpion. It doesn't really remind me of the Black Scorpion angle too much.
Well, yeah, it doesn't remind me of that either. So, I mean, but it does. It does give other options out there for somebody to run in and just as they did with the Gunther and the LA Knight. Really it wasn't a clean pin. It was through nefarious actions that Gunther won. So it puts heat on Gunther too. So it's great.
Do you mind that he tapped out? There's another thing I saw people, it's a minority, but there's still people, he shouldn't have tapped out. He should have passed out. I mean, that's kind of semantics there. I thought that was fine. Yeah, Gunther worked over his neck the whole time.
Right. Yeah, I don't mind that at all. And once again, I mean, here's Gunther going against John Cena, the greatest of all time, 17-time world champion. So I think it's adding his credibility, and I don't think it hurts LA Knight at all.
Do you have Gunther go over, or do you have Cena go over? How would you do the finish there for that Saturday night's main event?
Well, I think the right thing to do is put Gunther over, but at the same time, is there a sentimental send away? I don't know, but I think the right thing to do would be have John Cena go over, but for business, I think Gunther needs to go over.
Would it be crazy if Gunther goes over and they do the old Yokozuna Hogan King of the Ring style where he just destroys him and they go, he killed Hulkamania, and they literally he just wipes Hogan out? Would it be crazy to do that for his Cena retirement?
I don't know if it'd be crazy or not, actually. I mean, but what does John do? John's gonna have a big send off. He's had a big send off, and do they give him, like I said, the sentimental win, or does John demand that he does the job and puts Gunther over? Because I think John wants to give back and prove that even on his way out, he can go out losing and still be over.
The interesting thing too is like the Gunther saying he's going to make Cena tap out and he's going to beat the hell out of him too. So Cena, not the character, the babyface Cena, I don't know if he's ever really tapped out. I know he tapped, but as a babyface, that's not really in his nature. So I wonder if they are going in some sort of direction. Gunther's going to make him tap out here.
Well, I think it's being discussed right now and thought about, and different scenarios bantied about and thought about, and it'll be interesting to see what they come up with. I don't think there's any shortage of creativity going into this one.
Do you like Gunther as almost like a career killer kind of gimmick? Because obviously he ended Goldberg's career. Technically, he's ending Cena's career. Do you like that? Maybe that's his gimmick kind of going forward. He's like he got it kind of like ruthless, and he's out to kill careers.
Well, I like that. As a matter of fact, I don't mind that at all. He's the next guy, and if he puts John Cena away and sends him home forever and ever, well then that's something he can rest on. Just as making having the Undertaker lose the streak. Brock did that, and that's something he'll forever have. And maybe this will be something that Gunther will forever have, and something they can bring up. So I mean, WWE is not adverse to doing stuff like that, and I don't mind it one bit.
You mentioned they would be listening to their fans. Nick Khan, in a recent interview, said that he doesn't listen to the fans and he doesn't care what they say, which is kind of like an interesting thought process. But I guess he means as an executive, he can't really listen to all the noise and all the negativeness, I guess. Negativity.
Yeah, but I think Hunter does. I think Paul Levesque, as a COO, I think he does listen to fans. I think he does listen to social media. I'm not saying he always follows what they say and does what they want, but at the same time, I do think he has his pulse on the fans, what they're saying and what they're talking about out there. And I think he has somebody watching it as well, and it's discussed. I believe that. I mean, I could be wrong, but Nick Khan isn't in the decision-making process or the creative process as Hunter is.
That is kind of like an interesting statement. I feel like sometimes like the big wigs in WWE and TKO, I wouldn't say like foot and mouth disease or something, but they always kind of, I don't know, they say something and it can be totally misconstrued. It's almost like they don't care kind of what the audience has to say, and then they're like, "Oh, I didn't know, the whole audience would hear it." Like that kind of weird scenario. It does seem like they'll say stuff, and then it's like, "Oh, I don't know, like PR wise, if that's a good move or a good thing to say."
Well, I said something this week on a show that I didn't think anybody watched or listened to, and I've got just only 2 responses from it, and I said something that about the passion of people coming to a wrestling school and not having as much passion, but I didn't mean everybody. They're doing a wrestling school isn't easy, and we lost our building, and just the real estate around Knoxville is outrageous, and you have to have at least 12 to 15 students to make the rent. I mean, for those months that you're going to be open, and that just wasn't happening. But I made a comment about the passion, and 2 people misconstrued it as I meant everybody that came through didn't have the passion. That's not what I meant. I meant that you'll have the ones who do, but you'll have more of the ones who, once they get training, once they get started, realize there's a lot more to it than they thought, and it's a lot more involved and time consuming than they thought. 5 days a week, 3 hours a day, or 3 hours a night is, if you've never taken a bump before and you really haven't worked out, you've just watched it on TV, you've been a fan your whole life, and you think, well, hell, anybody can do it. Let me just find a wrestling school and go. They find out pretty quick, that the mat's not a trampoline and the ropes aren't rubber bands, and it hurts. So, I mean, I can understand how people will misconstrue it as something else. And maybe Nick Khan doesn't care. I don't know. But I don't – he's not in on the creative process. So I think in order to do that, I don't know if WWE still does this or not, but they used to do polls as the people left and poll people and what match did they like the best, why, and where did you come from, and different questions. I don't remember all the questions on the sheet or what people would ask, but they would get this data and then do what they did with it and try to figure out a way to bring more people in. I don't know if are they using AI now? Did I read that somewhere?
That's the rumor. Nobody confirmed it, but that is the rumor. Okay. Yeah.
Well, so they're going to try anything they can to appeal to more people. And
so interesting. But it's so interesting you mentioned that about the trainees and Matt and the bumps, because Logan Paul was just on his podcast. He was talking about that, and he was saying, okay, when do we get the real mats, the real trampolines? And, he's like, no, this is the real thing. So he's like, man, taking a bump, he goes, you have to get used to it. You have to love it. You have to want to be there. And obviously he does, because he's great, and I like him a lot. And he was saying that Travis Scott no-showed, basically kind of revealing why he was no longer used. He no-showed something where he was supposed to start promoting that he was going to be in a 6-man tag with Cena and Logan Paul against Cody and whoever his 2 basically partners were going to be for that match, and he no-showed, so they kind of had to go in a different direction. But he basically revealed, he goes, well, he didn't really want to be there. He wasn't really training hard. He didn't really like the bumps. Like, he kind of revealed some stuff about Travis Scott that wasn't necessarily out there.
Right. And that happens more so than not. Some people, not all, because I've come across some very passionate people, but some people get it in their head that all they have to do is learn some flip, flop, and fly stuff. And it's not hard, because look at the guys doing it. They could do that. It can't be that hard. But when they get in there and find out there's no substitute for the basics of fundamentals, I mean, they never go out of style, and you actually do have to fall down, and you do have to learn how to protect yourself. And in the process of learning, a lot of people get hurt and feel it, and uh, then we'll come to class and sit there and then watch some of them, and then some of them won't even show up, and you don't hear a word from them. So I mean, to me, that lacks passion, and you have to have passion to be good at this. You have to have passion to want to do this, and don't mistake passion for having a dream that you find out is different than what you really thought it was. Um, you don't start out in the main event. You start out on the down below you, and you work your way up. And it's a long, hard road, man. It really is. And you give respect, you earn respect, and you get it. And if a guy like Travis Scott disrespected it, and I think I know where he was supposed to show up to it. I heard he didn't show up for practice.
Yep.
And yeah, didn't show up to get in to get the reps in, to do what he needed to do. And you take other guys like a Logan Paul or a Jelly Roll or somebody like that who does love it and will do what they have to do to get it. That's the difference, and it shows.
And it was supposed to be Cody, Jey Uso, and I'm guessing, because they didn't say who, but I'm guessing maybe Ron the Truth Killings versus Cena, Logan Paul, and Travis Scott at Money in the Bank. And he basically no-showed a training and no-showed something where he was supposed to announce with Cena and Logan Paul they were teaming. So it's like, holy moly, this guy.
Yeah.
And he would say, he goes, I don't know if he wanted it bad enough. He's like, he's not like Bad Bunny who wanted it and didn't mind
Bad
it.
Bunny's another one. Yeah.
Like,
Bad Bunny's
really,
another one. Just loved it and trained his ass off and got in there and did it.
the crazy thing is, too, it's like, man, they pumped it up. He's part of WrestleMania, the main event. So Chris Van Fleet asked Cena, famous interview guy, he asked Cena, and Cena goes, who cares? Like, he didn't want to talk about it. I guess because he doesn't want to bury Travis Scott, doesn't want to bury The Rock. He goes, who cares? He goes, what do you mean, who cares? What was the original plan? He goes, I don't like to get into what could have, should have, would have. But he's not really getting to what could have been. It was what was supposed to be if the guy would have, been willing to do his part.
Yeah. And you run into those people, again, more so than not. There's, for every Logan Paul, there's about 5 or 10 Travis Scotts.
Yep, that's for sure. Yeah, they're hard to come by. Those guys that really want it and will sacrifice and make the bumps and stuff. And the thing is, too, with Travis Scott, he kind of ruined the WrestleMania main event too. I mean, let's be honest here. He was terrible out there at that main event.
Oh, where he slapped Cody?
Yeah, that was he's terrible.
Yeah, and he didn't. I don't think he got it. I mean, smoking weed coming to the ring. I mean, who else can get away with that?
Terrible. LA Knight has many years left on his deal, and WWE was surprised. This was a report that was out there. Was surprised people thought Monday night was some sort of burial of LA Knight. So it was not, according to people within WWE.
Right. I think it was just a continuation of the story, and I guess they just pretty much confirmed it.
So for Saturday night's main event, just go back to that, the Cena retirement match, Cena versus Gunther. We kind of both maybe thinking Gunther should go over here, right?
Yeah.
Also, Bailey versus Sol Ruca, who's a part of NXT. So do you like that they're bringing in some of these young guns to wrestle some of their veterans?
I do. I think Javon and
Leon
Slater, talented guys. I like Sol Ruca, and I think that's a great way to introduce them to the crowd, to the fans, and it gives these guys an opportunity to sink or swim. And I've seen Javon every time he's been on. I think the kid's talented. He's young, and he's got many years ahead of him. He stays healthy. And Slater, I've seen a couple times. I think it's a great idea, because if you wait until they're ready, then they'll never be on, because you sometimes have to just go and do it. And that's the way to do it. I think they've been great in NXT and TNA, and now get on the big stage and see if they really can. And you can talk about experience all day long, but you can't give somebody. They have to get it on their own. They have to go out there and actually learn and try it and fail and get better, and then come back and then become a star.
AJ Styles and Dragon Lee defending the Raw Tag Team Championships against Javon Evans and Leon Slater. Both super young. I think they're both about 21, so both super young guys. Obviously, Leon Slater, TNA guy, and Evans is an NXT guy. I would imagine Slater will soon be an NXT guy. But it's very interesting, like that they're really giving the young guys here, the real super young guys, a big chance, big showcase.
Yeah, and I think it's a great opportunity for these guys to show what they really can do against a guy like Dragon and AJ Styles. Like I said, we can talk about experience all day long, but the only way to get it is get it and do it.
So then also Cody Rhodes versus Obafemi. So the WWE World Heavyweight Champion versus the NXT World Heavyweight Champion. Do you like that? Do you like Oba?
I don't think he's an NXT World Heavyweight Champion. He's the NXT Champion.
Yeah, you're right. Champion. Yeah, you're right. I don't think it's as far as I know, unless it was defended in England. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I'll have to check. I'm not sure. Maybe not though.
Well, maybe, but I still don't think they call it a World Championship.
No, yeah, he's just the NXT Champion. Yeah,
NXT Championship. Yeah. Well, and I'm interested to see what that match turns out to be too. Obafemi's a talented big guy, and I think he's got some years on him too if he stays healthy. And I'm sure Cody can make the match even more spectacular, and it'll be. I think that'll be an entertaining match.
He's a big boy too. I mean, he's probably like 6'4" ish, 300 pounds, somewhere around there, maybe 285. But he's huge. He just has that look. When you look at certain guys, you're like, that guy's a wrestler. Really, like you hit him, you look at him, you're like, either he's a football player or this guy's a wrestler. I mean, this guy's a monster.
He has good presence wherever he goes. Yeah, I mean, he surprisingly he talks pretty good too.
Yeah,
he's a pretty promo.
Yeah, for being he's basically brand new. He's only been in it for I think maybe 3 years, maybe not even. So he's kind of come through the ranks pretty quickly.
Yeah, he's one of those guys that you put him in the ring and see how they swim, and he's been doing a really good job swimming lately.
Do you like the Cody matchup? Like Cody, I mean, this is a huge step up for him. Do you like that?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a great match. I think Cody's going to be the spark in there that will be credible. And it was Javon he wrestled this past Tuesday.
Yeah,
and Javon's not a big guy, but he looked like his offense looked good, and I think Cody's going to have great offense and make the match. So yeah, I like that. I like that matchup a lot.
Would you have Cody go over, or would you have Obafemi go over?
I think you have to have Cody go over. But they might surprise us. But Cody's your champion and WWE champion. So, he may go over, and they may involve some outside interference. Don't know. But if it was a match with a winner and a loser, I think you have your WWE champion go over.
When you do that too, maybe have Oba kind of kill him off a little, and then have Cody sneak in the win, so he still looks good in the loss, if you will.
Oh, by all means, yeah. You're not just going to go out and beat him 1, 2, 3 with and dominate the whole match. No, Cody's got to be in jeopardy and got to make it look like he could lose, and whatever creative finish they come up with, your champion slips over.
And a lot of fresh matchups that we haven't seen because they are doing the young NXT people versus the WWE veterans and the people that are around. And obviously, Gunther's have been a veteran, been around, but we never seen him versus Cena. So you are getting some fresh matchups, which is kind of refreshing.
Yeah. And nobody understands what those guys are going through. And I'm talking about the creative and writers and agents, producers, and all the staff involved backstage. To produce a show like this, nobody understands it or can relate to it unless you're there, and it's bigger than ever. And to make the determinations and decisions they have to make, Um, it's a gamble either way, but it's just their opinion of what they think they should do, and again, you'll find out if it's right or wrong by how many people are talking about it, how many people are watching it, how many people keep going to it. Because if the crowd stops coming, if the fans stop watching, then they're going to have to change um, and pivot to where they have it back, and they're making. I think they're making headway with what they're doing now.
So as far as John Cena, he is going to be retired. He's retired from wrestling, had his last match. I mean, he's done. He did the retirement tour 2025. He's completely done. But he just announced basically, a little while ago that he's going to be signed to WWE for 5 more years, that he has signed on to be an ambassador, so to speak, with the company. What are your thoughts on that? Because it's almost like, oh, we're never going to see him again. He's got, but then he literally just announces, boom, right after the retirement. Oh, I am an ambassador. I'll still be around. Won't be wrestling, won't be in the ring, but I'm going to be an ambassador for WWE for the next 5 years.
Yeah, I don't think he ever said he wouldn't be around. I think it was just his last time in the ring. And I think John Cena is a great ambassador for WWE. He was a great ambassador when he did the Make a Wish wishes, and wherever he goes, he knows how to be an ambassador. He knows how to be a representative of WWE. Not going to embarrass you, and I hope. And he's going to go out, and he's got a great gig. I think it's a great thing for him to go out and represent WWE.
The thing is, though, okay, he's gone. He won't be wrestling. He's going to be ambassador. Do you think that'll make people clamor for him to have another match? You know what I mean? Like if he's around, like, oh, come on, do one more. WrestleMania is coming up. Do one more match, or you know what I mean? Like, do you think that kind of makes it almost have the fans salivate for more? Maybe is that what he wants? Is that what they want to get out of it?
I don't know if that's what they want. It may be a byproduct of that, but I don't I don't know that they did it with Sean over in Saudi Arabia against
Yes,
Taker
yes.
and Kane, but we'll have to wait and see because you never know. You never say never in wrestling, but um, I don't know if John wants to get in the ring anymore. I can respect that.
When you look at it, though, Michael said that he doesn't count that match. That it never happened. It was just like a money grab. He doesn't count. Could Cena say kind of the same thing? Oh, it's Saudi Arabia, just a money grab. It's WrestleMania 43 or whatever. It doesn't count.
Well, he could say it, but I don't know if he would do it.
Right.
I mean, that's Josh. I don't know if John would do it or not, but I guess anything's possible. Everybody has a price. That's what they tell me anyway.
Yeah, the $1 Million Man infamously would say everybody's got a price.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think Cena is done though physically? Because he's kind of like hinting, I can't do it anymore physically. But then he has a match like SummerSlam against Cody, or is that one of those things where I don't have it anymore? I'm going to give you one last, the old Toby Keith. I ain't as good as I once was, but I'm as good once as I ever was. Is it one of those type deals?
Well, how old is John now?
48.
Okay, well, at 48 years old, going for the last 20 years at the speed he's been going, um, he he might possibly really truly believe in his heart, know when and feel the rhythm of his body and what's in his head that yeah he really doesn't want to get back in there anymore. I mean, um, I can remember when finally I got tired of the bumps and my body had taken enough, and I wrestled a couple more times after that, but finally it was just where I don't want to wrestle anymore. Not I still love wrestling, I still love the business, but you have to listen to yourself and your body. When you go out there, you don't want to embarrass yourself. At least I don't want to embarrass myself, and I don't think Cena wants to embarrass himself. And he looks great. He can still go, but when you get to a certain point, and at 48 years old, you get to that point where everything feels like it's amplified. And I can understand him not wanting to have another match if he doesn't.
Any reason why it would be this random, event in a December of 2025. Why not WrestleMania? Like, why wouldn't you do it at like a big show? Would it take away from Mania? But I don't feel like it would, because Flair WrestleMania 24, that was great. That kind of made WrestleMania great that year, was the fact that it was somebody's last match, and something you could really remember, like a
Well,
flagpole event.
who did John work at this past WrestleMania?
Cody.
Right. So I'm saying he didn't get the belt.
Yep.
Okay, so he's done that at WrestleMania. Now it's 1 year, and he started in January and it's ended in December. So I mean, he's done his last WrestleMania. That's the last WrestleMania, and at the end of the year, it's in Washington D.C., right?
Yes.
So at the end of the year, this is it. He won the belt at WrestleMania. Got that feel good moment, and for him anyway, 17 times he got that that landmark, and it'll be a long time before anybody surpasses that, if ever. You had the Undertaker streak, and that was broken. So there'll come a time, maybe, who knows, 10 years from now, 20 years from now, but John Cena cemented his name in WWE, along with guys like Hulk Hogan, Andre the Giant, The Undertaker, and guys in that stature, the guys who breathe that rare air. And I don't care if he ended it in Houston, Texas, but he's going to end it in Washington, D.C. It's been a whole year of John Cena retirement, and people knew it. They knew it in the beginning. They plugged it as that. So I don't see anything wrong with being, I guess, a random, if you want to call it random, random city.
Event.
Yeah.
Tonight's main event in Washington, D.C. is where it happened. So very interesting, though, with like Cena and some of his comments, some of his interviews. I feel like he never wants to really give necessarily like a straight. Maybe in the future he might be working with The Rock in Hollywood or working with Travis Scott on something. Like, does he not want to like bury certain guys? Do you think they tell him not to bring up certain stuff, or what do you think?
No.
Like, how can we so like evasive in some of these interviews?
Well, maybe he doesn't want to bury anybody. I mean, it's what's the upside to that. We've seen how it works for Ric Flair when he says stuff. And you're right. He may be working with these people later down the road. And who knows if they saw it, heard it, whatever. And it's best in his head, at least, and I'm sure other people too, that as long as you play nice and don't really necessarily say anything bad about anybody, it works better that way.
I never really was a big John Cena guy or a big John Cena fan, just not my type, or not my cup of tea, if you will, as far as a wrestler. But I got to appreciate that this past run here and this, last few months especially, he really been kicking it into gear. I mean, SummerSlam, that match was great. And maybe one of the best matches of his career. The AJ Styles match in Australia was great, one of the best of his career. So it's like, man, this guy's really going out on his sword here. He really is trying hard. He could just kind of do it the easy way and kind of breeze through, and he hasn't really done that at all. And he's jobbing to, obviously Cody and Dominic and Brock, so he's putting guys over on the way out. So I can't knock him at all, and I've actually kind of enjoyed his final run here in WWE.
Yeah, and I think that's what John wants. He wants to be remembered as that. And again, you're not going to please everybody, and certainly not everybody's going to like the decisions, but as long as Cena's happy, and as long as the majority of the fans are happy, I think it's okay.
So with him, and obviously he'll be gone, the focus next year's WrestleMania, it kind of like wide open, a bit. I know they're obviously on the poster, if you will. You got the 6 ladies that were part of that one shoot, and you have the guys that were part of the shoot, which is Punk, Lesnar, Roman, and Cody. So that'll be kind of interesting to see what direction they go in, and maybe even Randy Orton returning soon, and Randy Orton coming back and doing something. So I kind of hoping he turns heel and turns on Cody and says he really wants the belt and he's tired of this, like, him smiling and, crap. I want him to, like, be the vicious heel that he was. I think that would be a great WrestleMania main event for one night, and then maybe Punk Roman night 2 or something. So I feel like they've got options.
Yeah, they do have options. They have, again, Braun Breaker's really coming through, and
yeah,
he's been phenomenal, I think. and one of those guys that I think surpassed expectations. So and bringing up some of the guys from NXT, they're looking, and there's some untapped talent in Orlando, and that's why I think giving guys a chance like that, uh, being on a program like Saturday Night's Main Event is a great opportunity for all those guys to shine through and have them exposed to the fan base and give them an opportunity to show what they could do.
What have you thought about Breaker's last couple promos? Have you liked his promos?
Yeah, I really have, because they're from the heart. He means it. He's saying it, even if they're written down. When you deliver it, uh, you've got to believe it when you say it, and he does. He believes it. He's passionate. He's one of those guys that he feels it when he says it, and he believes it because he does. When he's saying it, he believes it.
How great is that? He's saying that Punk mentioned to him like backstage, like, oh, let's even cut a promo with the big boys or whatever. Like, obviously, like as a private thing, and he brought it up. I thought that was great that he brought that up. That's pretty cool, and like almost using it as giving him some momentum there.
Well, it goes back to the old Memphis personal issues draw money,
Yeah,
and they do, because people will say, "Wow, that was real," and that's what you want. In a land, in a day and time where everything is put out there, and they have. I still haven't watched Unreal, but I've heard about it from various people, where everybody sees the backstage. Well, sometimes you get somebody out there that is authentic, and you could tell they're intense. It's not a put on intensity. It's not a play acting, but it's a real come from the heart promo. Um, then people are interested. People are intrigued, because just like when Brock Lesnar walks through the ring, when Brock gets his hands on people, there's an intensity there that is authentic. It's real. I think Breaker has some of that, and the more he goes, and as he's only going to get better. He's surrounded himself with Paul Heyman, and he's in the top angle right now, and that's how you learn. And he's learning at a great pace.
it seems like also bringing up personal stuff or bringing up stuff that kind of blurs the lines, that always works well too. And it's like just to mix that in there, not know if he's working or shooting. I love stuff like that because it kind of makes it more genuine.
Yeah, yeah. Authenticity is the key, and you got to think, shoot, but work. And sometimes you got to think, shoot, and just go with it. And somebody gets mad about it. Well, see what you got. I mean, The Rock, when he started cutting promos with DX and Shawn and Triple H, that's what was going on. I mean, they had something before they went out, but when they went out, DX changed everything and went off the cuff and see if Rock could handle it. And finally, Rock did, and found out he was a great promo guy too. So that's the way they pushed each other then. I think it's coming back around to where the guys are pushing each other to be great and be authentic and get people interested in what they're saying and what they're doing.
Breaker versus Punk. Would you give Breaker the title? Are you giving him the world title? Are you giving him the rocket ship, the push?
Well, I could see it happening, but I can also see them doing a wonky finish where maybe even the mascot comes in and causes Breaker to lose. Some misdirection somewhere there. So I'm up in the air with that one. But if they wanted to make it mean something right now, and on Saturday night's main event, it's a year with Netflix, that would be something memorable, something you could talk about. And I wouldn't mind it one bit, but I can also see keeping it on Punk for a little while longer. But I would think it would be an interesting thing. right now to change the title and put it on Braun Breaker.
By the way, also coming up in January, Unreal Season 2. So you better catch on Season 1 before Season 2 comes out. You got to watch that.
Yeah, I don't have to, but I might.
Are you interested, though, in like that behind-the-scenes stuff? Or do you think that is also like a little too scripted and not as
Well,
intriguing?
yeah, I don't. I would be interested if I'm not. There's a part of me I know everybody knows, but at the same time they really don't. And I don't really. It's not something I'm into where you show everybody what you're doing and how the magic is done. I just never felt that way. Um, at Ric Flair's last match, Jeff Jarrett came down the aisle and the crowd was up and everybody was hot and everybody was going crazy. And he took somebody's drink and threw it in their face. And I haven't seen that in so long. Now, was it pre-planned? Was it somebody he knew? I mean, only Jeff knows. And that's the cool thing about stuff like this. I wouldn't want to see them planning that in the back on TV and showing everybody, oh, that was just a work. So it's an interesting program. At the same time, I'm not a big fan of putting everything you do and how it works, and this is where we're going next, and the story arcs or whatever they talk about. I'm sure it's interesting to watch, and I'm sure it would be interesting to watch, but I'm not a big fan of it.
Did you hear this as well? Vince McMahon was asked to be on the Joe Rogan podcast. They were asking him, what do you think about that? Would Vince ever go on the Joe Rogan show? And do you think that would be a good interview?
Well, I think as Cena said on that show, it would just be a matter of time. I think Vince would be a great guest. I think he wouldn't mind doing it, but it would just have to be the time.
Do you think that his legal team would let him do it?
Well, that's what I mean. It would have to be after things have gotten straightened out or settled down, if they do, or when they do, and might be perimeters that Rogan couldn't go outside of, and because I don't know that Vince would want to talk about any of the other stuff either. But I think it would be a great program. I think they could do 2 hours, maybe even 3 hours with Vince.
He's a great interview when he's doing like somebody he likes, or it's a good interview, if you will. Not like a Bob Costas where he gets in the guy's face and he's all like, territorial. I mean, like when he's at like Pat McAfee, like that was good. Him telling stories, him shooting the shit. He's great.
Well, Costas was trying to do a gotcha.
Yes.
And Vince felt that and knew that, and he didn't really think Bob was interested in anything else except, here we go, Vince, I got you. So Rogan's different. Rogan would be interested in the stories and what really went on.
Yeah, Rogan usually has, obviously good guests, good conversations. Usually they're long too. So Vince wouldn't be out there for 5 minutes. I mean, it'd probably be a couple hours at least.
Yeah, at least.
Rogan does some good stuff. That would be interesting. I wonder how much like Rogan knows, or how much he would just be inquisitive to know about wrestling.
Well, I'm sure he'd have Tony Heathcliff with him, and Tony's
Yeah,
a resident wrestling fan who knows everything. So, I think Vince would like that. I think it'd be great.
Do you see that Netflix will be buying Warner Brothers Discovery? So that could have maybe implications on AW. Maybe not, depending on when the deal finally goes through. But it looks like Netflix buying Warner Brothers WBD.
Didn't Paramount do a counter offer too, and say they would be willing to buy?
But they already accepted the Netflix offer, so I don't know about that. I don't know about what would happen.
They did accept it, or I thought it was a hostile takeover with Paramount. They were trying to do.
That's what they're trying for. Yeah, nothing has gone through yet. But what it's weird though. Netflix is already basically saying, "Oh, we're going to do this," and HBO Max maybe in 2027. Like they're already kind of moving forward as if that isn't even going on, or that's not going to happen, or that won't affect them. This hostile takeover.
Well, we'll wait and see what the next news cycle brings in.
But it might not affect AEW, like regardless, just because the fact that if that doesn't happen in 2027, I think AEW's deal is over at the end of 2027 as far as on TBS TNT with Warner Brothers. So it might not even affect them at all.
Well, is it affecting them right now? I mean, are they drawing any numbers?
I think it was 500,000 like for the last couple weeks, so nothing too great. I know that a lot of stuff that's out there in the media was incorrect because if you go on WrestleNomics, you could actually see what's going on, and they were down in attendance, they were down in ratings, so maybe a little bit of a down period for them. I know technically speaking, they could actually be profitable this year though, so it's kind of like in one hand not good, in the other hand, well, maybe they could be profitable for the first time ever. So it might end up being a good year despite a down year, just because they got more of a TV rights deal from Warner Brothers to begin with.
Well, that'd be good. That'd be good for everybody involved at AEW then.
Would be excellent.
Yeah.
It just seems like maybe a little bit of a downtrend for them, or just overall this year, but maybe not financially. Just for the fact that TV money might be coming in, might be turning a profit for them, which would be sweet.
Yeah, it'd be great.
All right, let's do a Dr. Tom's This Week in History. Let's go back to 1979, NWA Big Time Wrestling, Dallas, Texas.
Mm.
Don Diamond defeated you on this day. Don Diamond. I'm not really too familiar with him, but interesting. This is obviously Big Time Wrestling before it becomes World Class Championship Wrestling down there.
Yeah, it was a Von Erich, so this was one of my first matches outside when I was traveling everywhere I could. And Don Diamond was a young guy from Florida, came in. Nice guy. Uh, pretty easy to work with. But yeah, I remember that in Dallas.
The Wild Thing, Don Diamond. I don't even know if he's still alive or if he not.
Well, I asked somebody about Don a couple of years ago, just out of the blue, because I remember Don, and um, he was a good worker, young guy, just started out, and Dallas was, I think, he wrestled in Tampa a little bit, then he came to Texas, and I asked somebody what happened to him if they knew, and I think he had gone away and done a little bit of time behind bars, and
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
so that's what I don't know if he's out yet or if he was out a few years ago, but that's what, and I don't remember who told me that right now, but that was the last I heard about Don Diamond. So, a nice guy.
Of course, we're going to go to 1985. We talked a little bit about Memphis earlier. Let's go to the Memphis, Tennessee Mid-South Coliseum. 1985 here. 2 matches, by the way. First up is a mixed 3-on-2 handicap match. The Heavenly Bodies of Pat Rose, Dr. Tom Prichard, and Sherry Martel defeating the fabulous ones of Stan Lane and Stan Kern. That's a huge
Well, I don't remember that match too well. Don't remember too much. The only match that I really remember with the Fabulous Ones was in Louisville when I broke my ankle.
right.
So, yeah. But
But
I'm sure it was tremendous.
But Sherry's teaming with you. That's kind of memorable that you're doing a 3-on-2 handicap match and you're actually teaming with Sherry.
Well, yeah, she was our manager
Yep.
at that time. So yeah, we did some tags with her too, though. And I love Sherry. She was great.
Man, wrestling 3-on-2. I know it's a little bit of an advantage, but getting the win over the fabulous ones, obviously they were super over in the mid 80s in that territory.
Yeah, they were.
That's not it though for the night. Later on in the main event, you guys are part of a battle royal. So this is interesting. It's like a tag team battle royal. So you and Pat will be back together. But it's kind of interesting here. The winners, Bill Dundee and Dutch Mantel, end up winning this somewhat of a tag team battle royal. Also in it, Austin Idol, Bobby Fulton, Flash, Jerry the King Lawler, Justice, Coco Beware, Mega Marihishi, who of course was Jerry Gray in doing a funny gimmick, Pat Rose, Phil Hickerson, Rick Casey, Rip Morgan, Stan Lane, Steve Kern, Taris Bulba, Tojo Ramoto, Tommy Rogers, yourself, and Tony Falk. So,
wow.
Yeah, kind of a star-studded battle royal won by Dundee and Dutch, of all people. By the way, Flash and Justice, not to just skip over them like that, that's Sting and the Ultimate Warrior there. So this is a star-studded battle royal here that you guys were a part of.
Yeah, I remember that time. It was a horrible time in Memphis. It was a real downtime, and
wow.
Warrior and Sting were just starting, and they were the drizzling shits. Jerry Jarrett told them to quit the business.
Thank God they didn't. Because
Yeah,
5 years later, they're on top of the wrestling world. One's the WCW champion,
exactly.
one is the WWF champion. Thank God they
Yeah.
didn't.
Yeah.
Let's go to 1991 USWA again, Mid-South Coliseum, Memphis, Tennessee. USWA Southern Heavyweight Championship. You lose the Southern Heavyweight title to Eric Embry.
Well, that was when Texas broke up. We were Texas versus Tennessee, and I guess Eric turned on me.
And then basically, that's not even the main event of the evening. The main event, technically, is you got two matches kind of in a row here. Kamala defeated Lawler, by the way, for the USWA title. And then in the main event, the Moondogs defeated Jeff Jarrett and Robert Fuller for the USWA Southern Tag Team title. So a star-studded title matches, 3 to kind of finish the show. A little bit of a triple header there.
Yeah, and all 3 titles changed hands, I guess, huh?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Well, cool.
Then let's go to 1995 to cap this boy off. Again, you're wrestling double duty here. 2 matches in the same night. First thing, a part of the ECW December to Dismember 1995 from the ECW Arena in Philadelphia, PA. The Public Enemy, Johnny Grunge and Rocco Rock defeated the Heavenly Bodies, Jimmy Del Rey and Dr. Tom. That match went about 9 minutes. What do you think about the Public Enemy? That's a good match.
Good guys. I worked with Ted Petty before this, and it's Johnny Grunge, right?
Yes.
Yeah, Johnny was good. They were okay. I think they wanted to go through some tables, and I let Jimmy and those guys do that. I really wasn't into going through the tables back then. But good match. I always loved working the ECW arena. The ECW crowd was hot, and talk about passionate. They were very passionate. The dressing room was great. The guys in the back, I thought were really good and really cool to sell. So it was a good time.
Then the main event of the evening, you're back again. Ultimate Jeopardy Steel Cage match. The Pitbulls, Pitbull 1 and Pitbull 2, the Public Enemy, of course, Johnny Grunge, Rock Rock, and Tommy Dreamer defeat Raven, Stevie Richards, the Eliminators, John Cronus, Perry Saturn, and the Heavenly Bodies, yourself and Jimmy Del Rey. Match goes about 30 minutes. So double duty. So you work basically a 10-minute tag match and then a 30-minute Ultimate Jeopardy Steel Cage match to finish things off. Do you remember that at all? That's kind of a crazy match.
Yeah, match, but it was a good time. It was the ECW arena was hot. It was good.
2 jobs in one night, though. That's kind of unfortunate.
All right. That's all right.
You don't mind that? You don't mind that?
Oh, we got paid.
True. That's a good point. That's what it's all about.
We're called professionals.
Yes. Paul was good to you guys, though. Made sure you guys got paid.
Sure. I know.
There's been some issues there.
Well, sure I do, but not with us. We were good.
Seems like he took care of the guys that were coming in. You know what I mean? Like doing the 1 shots, 2 shots, a couple shots. Seems like those guys never didn't get paid.
Yeah, I guess not. We always got paid. It was good.
Yeah, because I don't know if I ever heard like Rick Rude not getting paid or Hall or something. Although I did hear a story about Sid, how he basically had to go in and tell Paul he was going to kill him, and then Paul gave him the money. So maybe it depends on who it is.
Yeah, Sid was a unique guy, so I can see that.
And you better pay him because he'll, obviously could do some damage. Him and Tommy Rogers were basically telling Paul, "Hey, better make sure we get paid here."
Yeah, I'm sure they got paid then.
All right, that is This Week in Dr. Tom history. So let's wrap up this bad boy and let's head towards the plugs. You can follow me on Twitter and on Instagram at 2Man Power Trip. How about you, Dr. Tom?
You can get me at Dr. Tom Prichard at AOL.com. Yes, I still have AOL, but if you want to get a camp or a seminar or whatever it is, just email me.
How about the book? Is the book still readily available?
Yeah, the book's readily available. Just email me and I'll send you a book.
I love that book. I do have a signed copy of that book. Love that book. I feel like it's been used by several people, even Brian Myers and Pat Buck, as far as their curriculum and their training. Yep. So very, very useful, cool book to have.
Yep. All over the world they use it.
And it's interesting, too, to note, though, with Pat Buck and Brian Myers and WrestlePro, MJF, Chris Statlander, Max Caster, people are coming through still using your curriculum. So I love that.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are.
Right. So thank you, everybody, for tuning in. We'll see you right back here next time for a little Take It to School with Dr. Tom Prichard. See you then, folks.